Good morning. It's 7 a.m. and it's a little bit of a rainy day here in Brisbane, which is lovely because it takes the heat off. And today I am running a tournament. 3 rounds, about 14 people, a little bit of a small one, but our scene is pretty small, so should be a nice relaxed day. I'm not nervous at all as a person organising an event that day might be. As you can tell, sitting here, sipping on my coffee. But yeah, already hit the gym. Event starts in about half an hour. Just gonna eat me eggs and then head on over to the venue. Should be a good day. I'll do my best to capture some footage and maybe bully people into doing some interviews and talk about their games. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, cool. Nice. Good to see you there. To the front arc. What's that? To the front arc. It's any point on the model. 612, 714. Possible strength. Oh, no. They could have changed it. Yes, I understand this. I had a quick read before you went up. I got through your characters.
Legal strike, multi-wounds.
Yeah, no.
You got hatred.
Yep. So hatred?
Yes. You get 30 points for hatred, but you just do. Like, yeah. But it's a random number of attacks.
Yes, D6 plus 2 or something. You can have 3.
Yeah.
You can have 8.
You can have 3 or you can have.
Here with the one and only Dan Smart, who's got the biggest cock in the room. Do you want to show everyone your cock, Dan?
Oh boy, there.
Look at that. What is he, Dan?
Cockle-doodle-doo. Well, this is a drumstick ridden by my mighty halfling, who's, I don't know, he's not yet named yet, so happy to hear some
Who
opinions.
cares when you've got a giant rooster / dragon called Drumstick?
Yeah, we'll see how many turns he lasts in this game, though, because
So who are you playing, Dan?
the best Western. Let Sam hear that. Glenn with his ID today.
So we got Sylvan Elves against Infernal Dwarves. So be terrible if he had a Master of Pyromancy, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? And lots of shooting, too. Glenn, what's in your list?
He said after deploying.
41 blunderbusses. 41 blunderbusses and a rocket launcher. That's the shooting. Only 42. Oh, 45 shots.
Do you have a plan?
Push it forward. No magic. A little bit of shooting. Lots of combat.
Bold.
Go halflings.
Go.
Let's see what makes it.
So you've got a cock and balls.
Cock and balls.
Love
mate.
it. Good luck. So this is Trav Cram, and his shirt. Who are you playing today, Dan? Trav?
I'm playing against Dan Stark's Dirty Dark Elves.
Alrighty. And predictions for the game, boys? What are we thinking?
I'm going to get wiped here, I reckon.
You're going to get wiped. Dan, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I'll take his 20, yeah.
Cool. Well, just rack up now, boys. Let's go to lunch early. Cool. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
And over here on table 3, we've got like some serious players concentrating very hard. Like this is Lockie, who's one of the best in Australia with his Sylvan Elves. Okay. He's also very modest and shy, and seems to be encircling the Warriors of the Dark Gods army with his little elf army. Not little. Okay, it's not little. I'm sorry. It's just because it's cold, right? So this is his wonderful opponent, Ryan Kerr. Ryan, predictions, thoughts on the game?
So he's going to win, but I'm going to love it the whole time. So
That's a good attitude. Good to have you here. As I said, they're very serious. We shouldn't disturb them. And here we are on table 4 with another Ryan and a Sam. We've got Ogre Khans against Dread Elves, and you would never guess what this model is deployed in the lake. Could it be a Kraken? Maybe. Cliche.
I picked this side because it's not a lake.
Look at that, basing tableside decisions just so he can put his water beast in water. Four to go. Kids these days. Here on table 7, we've got the wonderful Chris Curran playing against the equally wonderful Aaron. and we've got Infernal Dwarves against Empire of Sonstal, and I was just admiring this bus here. No one told Aaron that buses haven't been played since like 2010, so he's bringing it back, baby. Tell us about your game. What happened, bro? It looked pretty in your favour from the beginning there. I liked what I was seeing. You had a big control of most of the table. The Chaos Army was hiding in the corner.
It looked that way, and then it worked out that way.
Oh.
So
Was it one of those games where everything just kind of went to plan?
I just had enough shooting that he had to come to me, and I made sure I had the buffs set up. So if he did come in, he would bounce, which didn't happen. So he bounced back with 2 of his 8-man chosen units against my dancers, and then from there I pushed into the center with a lot of my characters just out by themselves, which opened up his big blocks in the center. So.
Yeah, it seemed like you had not only like the shooting advantage, but also his army's mostly infantry based, right? So he's got like the Forsworn and the 3 units of Chosen, the Warriors, whereas you're just running around playing single model hammer.
That's right.
And as a result, you're just you're basically just picking all the fights you want as well. I saw some really nice traps you were setting up, like turn 1. I was really impressed how aggro you were with your big tree there.
Do musicians still give you +1 to rally?
No.
Oh.
No, musicians only do Swift Freeform and the March check thing now. In the middle of it, yeah, it's good, isn't it? I was really impressed with your tree man move. I think you just shoved your tree man out in front of his army in the first turn, and was like, charge me, and if you don't, kill me with your, because you're only facing strength 4 stuff. I think you'd looked at what was opposite him and gone, I don't even care if this stuff comes in.
That's exactly what happened. I put both my tree down as far as I possibly could, and then made sure they angle so they can counter each other. And then if he made the charges, they made the charges, and then I could come in with whatever I want. But he decided not to charge any of it, and then which allowed me to get both the trees into his stack.
And then, like, if you're pushing up and he can't charge you, where can he go? Like, he can't go forwards because you just charge him anyway. What does he do? Go backwards with an all-combat Chaos Army? Like, I guess the only thing he maybe had going for him was that you were trying to capture this ruin in the corner, right?
Correct. That's right. And that's what my tree man himself was trying to do, was trying to zone this area out so that on my turn 6 I could move up and have him block. And
then basically be the shield wall, and then your scoring unit runs in behind him and just touches the corner, puts a toe with the objective. Cool.
That was the plan.
So that was a big 20 for you then?
That was.
Well done. Cool. Good luck in the next round.
Excellent. Thank you.
And we're actually streaming one of the games in every round today, as you can see by this little camera doohickey and this audio setup in the ceiling here. So I'm going to put the link for the stream in Twitch below. I might even download the video and post it to the channel here, but you'll get to see some games if you really want to. So we're into round 2, and we saw a lot of big wins in the first round, and the game to watch in this round for sure is the one on the stream, guys. So I'm going to give you the link to that. It's being streamed onto Twitch by the Venue's Twitch account. I'm going to post up the list for you there because I think it's going to be a really good game. So I'm going to try and catch footage from a lot of the games, but I might do some commentary on that one as well. So check it out. So what I decided to do here was take some pictures of the games and see if I can make some predictions based on what's happening here. So this is the top 3 tables. This is table 2. We've got the Sylvan Elves on this side here, and on this side we've got the Dread Elves. This was the army that was playing on the stream in the first game, and managed to actually crush the Demon Legions after the Assassin killed the Omen in the final round. So, and then this is Dan Smart's Sylvan Elves, the combat focused, no magic Sylvan Elves over here. So what do I think here? Well, I already have some information from this game, which if you just look at the deployment, the first thing for me is that, yeah, okay, like Zuli's got these Dark Elf monsters all the way out here, and he's got his main unit here on the hill, but really, look how far, look at this distance to the Sylvan Elf army. Like, this is so far. I think this Hydra is like 1 turn to here, another turn to here. Dan can move back. That's 3 turns. So the turn 1 it went to here, turn 2 it goes to here, turn 3 it goes to here, turn 4 it goes to here. It's like almost probably going to be 5 turns, unless Dan goes this way, which why would you, before this Hydra is going to do anything. And more or less the same thing for this Manticore. I don't know if he's very scared about this Manticore dying or something, but I think Dan can easily just deny this entire flank. And and just because he's denying this flank, he can easily be pushing his whole army up through here. And I think he's just going to be able to overrun this Sylvan Elf, this Dread Elf list. Like, this is, I think, a Bolt Thrower hiding behind here and some Shades. I reckon with a bit of shooting from these two units here and these Kestrels here, I think all of this is just going to die very quickly. And all of, like, yes, he's got the Altar Star. I think the Treekin and the Dragon and these Dryads with a little bit of support from these archers. I think these are Sentinels and these archers and Heath, the Shooty Heaths. I think that he's just going to screw that. I think Dread Elves are in huge trouble here, honestly. I'll be picking at least a medium win. Let's capture the flags as well. I think the Dread Elf scorers are going to be weaker than the Sylvan Elf scorers. Like, there's no scorers on this side at all. There's only the Treekin. The Treekin are the softest scorer on this side of the board. So, for me, big win for the Sylvan Elves. Big trouble for the Dark Elves here. Who else have we got? This is the same table. Can we jump? Can we jump while I've got my drawing tool on? I don't think so. Alright, let's quickly jump into here then. Alright, so here on table 3 we've got the Empire of Sunstall versus the Ogre Khan. So this is Haig against Trav. What can I say about this matchup? I got to say, I'm not 100% familiar with Haig's list. I've played against this a couple times before, but this is years ago. It's been a while since Haig rocked this out. So we can see here there's like 2 units of demis, the tank. This is a wizard wagon, and then obviously like knights, small knights. Looks like a bunker knight unit, pistoliers, or maybe it's 2 units. I think it's more pistoliers, and then the cannon. So I know he's got the Grandmaster with the auto wounding sword, the Runefang. Meanwhile, on Trav's side, he's got 2 Frost Mammoths. This is Yetis. This is more Yetis. This is Bombardiers. This is more Bombardiers. Iron Guts, Big Bruiser. Big Tribesman Bus, and a little Tribesman Bunker. So, again, I think Trav's gone really defensive here because he's worried about Haig just sweeping in and hitting him in certain spots to win the mission, given it's capture the flags. I don't really see what these Yetis are doing this game. Like, they're going to Vanguards maybe here. Probably, if they start advancing, then Pistoliers are just going to run around and shoot them. Haig can just use this building here to protect his flank from anything that comes this way. Like, these Bombardiers are obviously, like, I find this Bombardier placement really bad, honestly. Like, they're directly opposite ruins from a unit that can just run backwards if they don't feel like being shot. Like, and are they doing that much damage to demis? I don't know. But even then, they've probably got to march 1 turn, and then as soon as they march to start shooting over here, then the tank can go after them. And I think the biggest problem the Ogres have here is how they're going to clear this thing. How they're going to clear this tank. I know Trav's list, I've given him this feedback before, it really has a lack of reliable high-strength attacks. The best tool he's got is his BSB has a grey weapon, which I told him to put on there because previously had an Iron Fist. So he's got 1 guy with, 4 strength 7 attacks? So yeah, what I predict is going to happen here is that the Empire are going to hold these guys back. They're basically going to hold these guys back, maybe try and bait the Bombardiers into shooting them to waste their time. The Yetis are going to muck around doing nothing. And then the Empire are going to form a wall of knights around here. Haig will probably put his magic and maybe his shooting into killing this guy because he seems like a pain on his flank. And once this guy's dead, then Haig can just push all like this. And he's just going to push the Ogres. Eventually what's going to happen, in my opinion, is the tank is going to stick into something, and then all of the knights will just descend on that thing, something like this. So I find it, as much as I love Trav, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to make any progress here. He's got to have some really hot shooting phases, and I think Haig's probably only going to get 1 clean shot against his army before he's just impacting everywhere. So I think this is going to be... And meanwhile, Trav has nothing to try to kill this cannon because his Pyromancer is probably maybe here? But he's got to go through like this whole Empire army that's going to be here to do anything. So I think this is going to be big win. I would say 16 plus for... wow, that's a great 16, isn't it? that's a 16, take my word for it. 16 plus for the Empire on this table. And so here we've got table 1 with Mr. Lachlan against Mr. Ryan. So we've got on this side, we've got more Sylvan Elves. And over this side, we've got Ogre Khans. If I can draw a K. Now, Lockie did a very interesting thing here at the start of the game, which was pushing his tree man all the way to here in charge range of these Tusker cavalry, which started in the field. And it was a very, very obvious trap. Like, he has got the Strength 7 Prince here. He's got the Treekin that was sitting in the forest here, ready to counter. And I was really surprised. Ryan actually decided to go for it with the Tusker cavalry. And sure enough, like, the tree man sticks. You know, he's within BSB range. I don't know if he had any buffs on, but I think my thinking is Ryan knows that he's going to get countercharged by the world. But as you can see here, he's setting up his own units. He's basically accepting that this unit is going to die. And he's just creating so much chaos in the center of the board, and he's hoping that he's going to win in the grind, essentially. Because now he's got his Rocker Rock, he's got this unit here. I guess he's sort of got these Yetis, but honestly, I think he could have... I don't know if all this stuff was too far away, but I feel like if you're going to go for this approach, you should have all your stuff closer. Like, these guys that have... This is a super failable charge. That's what, like 10, 11 inches? If he wants to put this unit in here, they're going to get murdered by these Blade Dancers. So for me, this unit is barely even supporting the fight. I would have wanted this Mammoth closer to help out. I would have wanted these Yetis closer, the Giant, the Cowboy. Like, I think... and look at this. Like, this is the Sylvan Elf Cavalry already behind the army. This is really, really bad news. I think this block here, like, he seems to be shooting the Rocker Rock for some reason. He's taking some wounds. But I would be pinging this block and just trying to ping off as many bodies as possible so that the Blade Dancers can go through them quicker. But so I think this is going to go in the Sylvan Elves' favour. I think the Ogres are not executing their counterattack well enough, and I think the Sylvan Elves do so much damage in combat that they're going to actually win the grind because the Ogres are going to be coming in piecemeal. So I'm going to pick the Sylvan Elves for the win here. Don't know if it's going to be big. I think I'll probably lose a lot of guys in the process. But yeah, anyway, watch the stream and let's see how my predictions went. So just a quick update on those predictions that I was making earlier. It's been about 30 or 40 minutes since I recorded the last video. So this is table 3 with the Empire against the Ogres, and pretty much as I expected, the steam tank ended up being a huge problem. Trav tried pretty much the only thing he could, which was charging both units of his Iron Guts, his Bruisers rather, for 9th Age people, into the steam tank, did 2 wounds. Both units broke on the turn they charged because, hey, popped the breath weapon. One of the units ran through the big block of tribesmen with his BSB, who also panicked and ran off the table. Like, these knights had to charge into some tribesmen with an overrun into the flank here, so Trav decided to flee those off the table. He's killed some Pistoliers over here, but you can see, like, now these knights are into the Mammoth. The Demis are waiting to come. Like, these guys just have nothing to kill because, look, all the Empire are just evacuated over here. As predicted, these guys are just hiding behind the house, just trying to deny any easy shots. The Yetis have got nothing to do. And he's got he's got 1 unit of Bombardiers here, 1 unit of Bombardiers here, and with Pyromancy. And here he's got a unit of Knights with at least 1 character in it, a steam tank. This is just like a complete disaster for the Ogres. Like, I think the mission is already lost. Look, the Empire have got all of their scoring units left. These guys are even here. I think this is going to be 20 points easily for the Empire. Maybe the Ogres get a point or 2. So this is on table 2 with the Sylvan Elves against the Dread Elves, and this is the game that didn't really go to my prediction, I would say. I was really expecting the Sylvan Elves to form their line and just push all through here against the Dread Elves. But instead, it's actually gone completely the opposite way. We see all the Dread Elf units are now here. This Hydra or Kraken, whatever it is still alive and just rampaging up the flank. The Dread Elves actually miscast and lost their Wizard on the first turn, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Like, the Sylvan Elves don't have magic of their own. They've only got a small amount of shooting. I think this thing is only on 1 HP left. So I'm expecting that these archers will just delete it in the next turn. But, I mean, look at this. This is the Altar Star already in the flank of the thicket beasts, and the thicket beasts are not even... Oh, they're bodyguards. Okay, they're still stubborn. But, I mean, look, half the thicket unit is gone already. It's been like one combat phase. And then these spearmen are blocking the Dryad's wheel coming through here, and if the Dryads just charge the spearmen, I'm pretty sure the spearmen just beat them. Like, okay, there's the... I guess the only unanswered question here is, can this dragon, that big chicken... rooster, the big rooster cock, can the rooster cock dragon save the day for the Sylvan Elves? But I don't think he can. Dread Elves still have their Manticore, they've still got this big Colossal Kraken, still got 2 full units of Spearmen with an Assassin and probably a Legate in. I think this is looking really bad for the Sylvan Elves, so... well, one out of 2 predictions correct so far. That's okay, I guess. And here's your update on the Table 1 stream game. As you can see, pretty much it just turned into a huge dog pile in the middle. The Ogres actually got a little bit of luck. That Rock that we were talking about earlier, getting wounds chipped off it, actually went for a long bomb charge with only 2 HP left into the Elk Rider and actually killed it with impact hits, which is... I was saying it was like really crazy insane on the Ogre's part, but I guess if you've got a 2 HP Rock that's just going to die to anything anyway, you might as well take like a coin flip to try to kill this prince. So sure enough, the Rock killed the prince, and then the Treekin killed the Rock. The Tuskers got killed by the Treekin as well, and now the Ogres are pretty much like throwing their last ditch attempts to try to get something out of this game. They've got the Hunter Cowboy on a Tusker and their Big Brother Giant into the Treekin, but the Treekin stuck around as they do, and in come 15 War Dancers. So I think this is just... I mean, look at this arc here. I don't even think that this Mammoth is going to be able to countercharge. So I think this is going to be the end of the Ogre Kingdom's chances in this game right here. Like, they've got these Yetis back here, but there's 2 entire Treemen corralling them. You can see Lockie's playing really well. He's got his Dryads running out of line of sight. He's got his Archers running out of line of sight to kill. And there's another unit of Archers back here that you can't see. And the Ogres have been harassing them with Totem Beasts. So what Lockie's done to make sure he wins the mission, because it's capture the flags, is he's just pulled back 1, 2, 3, 4 shooting units, all of his shooting units, just to converge and kill any Totem Beast that comes on before it can kill his Archers. So I think Lockie's playing really, really well here. It's probably a great matchup for him as well, to be honest with you. But kudos to him. And kudos to Ryan as well for, I guess, trying. He didn't just sit there and take it. He decided, okay, I'm probably in a bit of trouble here. I'm just going to try to make some chaos and hope to come out of it as best I can. So, been a good game. I say that. I haven't watched that much of it. Probably you guys watching the stream have seen more of the game than I have. But, yeah. So the Sylvan Elves did indeed manage to get a big win over the Ogre Kingdoms on Table 1 last game, and now you'll see behind me just here is the new Table 1 with Lockie on 40 out of 40 against Haig, which is the Empire of Sonstal All Cavalry Army on 36 out of 40. So we're just setting up the stream here now, and we're going to get that one live for you in a few minutes. I'm going to post the lists on the screen. And the link as well to the stream so you can check it out, and I'll give some commentary in a few minutes. Enjoy.
Oh, no, can this make...
No, I've just got to do a couple of things.
Oh, I see.
So it just depends on whether I can move to what I want to do. So if I reformat templates, so that's why I have to see what I do. Okay, go for it.
So here I am in the kitchen of the venue, which is nice. Although the fridge has only got Mountain Dew in it, as you would expect from a wargaming venue. So I just want to quickly step away from the table and give you my thoughts on Table 1 game, which is Lockie against Haig. So I think Lockie was probably my pick to win this event based on list and player. I thought his list was really, really cool, really strong, dynamic, had lots of really smart pieces in it. Haig is probably the only player at this event, I think, who could really give him a run for his money, and I think we're seeing that already in deployment. The mission is Breakthrough with marching columns, which I think is really in Haig's favor. Like, he's got the all cavalry Empire army. Lockie's, I've just put the clip on the video here, and you can see already Lockie's completely compressed in the corner. Haig's going first. He's just going to create this semicircle. Lockie's really going to have to fight his way out to have any chance of winning the mission. He's got like a few Dryads down, going down the right flank. I have a suspicion it's not going to be an easy road for them to get there. So meanwhile, Haig's got Demigriffs and a Cavalry who can just grab the mission almost at any point because that whole flank is unopposed. So, and once again, we see the power of the steam tank. The steam tank's just going to drive into the middle of the board and start causing havoc. And even if Lockie does things like puts 2 treemen into it to crush attack it, they're just going to be vulnerable to all of the counter charges in the world. So I'm expecting a very messy game. At some point, I think those 2 armies are just going to come together. This is not going to be like a standoff type match at all. I think they're just going to have to tear chunks out of each other. I mean, Lockie has no choice. Even though he's 4 points ahead going into the game, I think he's got no choice except to try to just annihilate Haig and somehow get through to win the mission. Otherwise, Haig's just got a slam dunk, picking up small points with his divination, with the cannons, etc., etc. So it's going to be a tough one. I'm kind of pulling for Lockie because I think he's been playing really well and I like his list. But I'll be curious to see how it goes anyway.
Printing it like that's a very good idea. Physical combat.
That's fine.
I'll just go to work now. Be a dog.
Okay. 6 attacks on 3s.
3s, let's go. 4 hits, that's average. Strength 4. Yep. Priest 1.
Priest 1.
I think I'm gonna hurt myself.
I'm still wasting all my good rolls. That guy can't fail.
Yeah. What? Let's do it. Do more than one back then, yeah. Yeah, watch me go. Luai's got a lot of support. Yeah.
1 hit?
No. I'll take it. Oh, she's good.
Yeah.
13.
Epi?
1.
2, 4, 6.
Wow.
That was awful. 2 attacks from the Wickers.
Doing the flyover shot. So as predicted, the table 1 game is really tight. The guys are smashing the crap out of each other. The steam tank went into the middle of the board just like I said it would. Got stuck on a tree man who managed to hit with 2 consecutive crush attacks, which was pretty impressive. The Elk Lord then went into it and actually combined with the tree man to kill it, but the steam tank actually killed the Elk Lord first. So that's actually a profitable trade for the Empire. Getting rid of that Elk Lord is a lot of points, and it's like the most dangerous model on the table just gone. So pretty interesting. I think, and now they're doing the usual thing happens, which is that the Knights have to commit into the Treekin and just hope that support is going to arrive before the Sylvanelf support cleans them up. The magic missiles are picking off blade dancers, and then they're getting raised back because there are other spells in combat that are more important to stop. So it's looking very tight. I think the scenario is still favouring the Empire, so I think Haig might edge him out by a few points, which would be pretty rough for Lockie after going 40 out of 40 in the first 2 games. But let's see. Keep watching the stream. Let's see what happens. In the other games, we've got a lot of destruction everywhere. I mean, there's this Zuli with his Dark Elf army has just been like having absolutely savage combat games. For the 3rd time, he's just brutalizing people with his altar unit. People are charging into it and thinking they're going to go through, and then it just vaporizes them in the 2nd round. Meanwhile, someone's just learned what a Dwarf Holdstone does. We've got the ogres against the infernal dwarves, and in turn 2 both Yeti units engaged on both flanks, destroyed a unit of Kadim and the Kadim Titan in 2 combat phases. But now the infernal dwarves counter pushed up the center and absolutely ripped the guts out of the ogre army. So that's also looking pretty bloody, but I think the infernal dwarves are going to win just based on the mission because they're actually going across the table, whereas the ogres are playing more defensive. So yeah, really cool to actually be watching instead of playing. I'm very relaxed, got a cup of tea, eaten way too much pizza, heckling people, usual TO stuff. Yeah, that's the prizes. I went over budget on everything else. Cool. All right, everyone, are we live?
Yep.
Live, lovely, cool. Thank you so much for joining us and spending the day together today. I hope you had a good time. Thank you you to the Brisvegas team for supporting us, especially Liam, who's been running the stream all day for us. Thank you, Liam. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the format. I hope you enjoyed the venue. We've got another 2 events booked here already. Haig is running one on the first Saturday of July, and Sam is running one on the first Saturday of September.
And it seems like everybody wants 4,500 for the first one in July, so 4,500.
Yeah, check Facebook for the details. Without further ado, let's do the awards. I have got some highly professional 3D printed gift cards for this store. So in third place, he's relearning the game because he's been away for too long. It's Haig Rusty McCliskey. In second place, a young man who at first didn't know what time the tournament started, and then kind of figured out what his army does, what his bonus army does, but managed to score 51 out of 60. It's Kazu!
$100 credit card.
And in first place, we've been looking at his marvellous visage all day. It came right down to the wire, and the winner on victory points, Lucky Answer McCliskey.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
That's not bad.
All right,
Thank you, Bubba.
that's all we've got. We'll see you soon.